Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have not posted in a while doing stuff, but today I am going to be going over my record collection. I've been collecting records for about just over 2 years now, and I thought I would make a little video because I was like, yeah, something fun to do, and I guess I can look back on this in the future, and if anyone else is interested to see it, if there is someone out there, then that's great as well. Yeah, I've got right now my turntable, as you can probably see in the background right there. It's the LP 120X, which I've only had for about a week or so now, but I only upgraded from the LP 60X recently. I had that for a couple years, but wonderful, works amazingly. A very very good purchase. This won't be in any sort of like list or anything. This won't be any sort of order. I'm just basically going to pull them out, talk about them, and then put them back. But there's some I've over the 2 years I've collected. I've got some pretty interesting stuff, some bit more obscure stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, this is in no like real order, but I'm kind of just going off where I'm storing them, and usually I put my new stuff first. So I guess it'll be kind of going from newest to oldest. But starting off first, we have the self-titled debut of Cassiopeia, obviously called Cassiopeia. In the race car cover, this is the 2024 repress done by I forgot who did it, but Japanese repressing, obviously in a clear orange vinyl. Like all Japanese pressings, especially like the recent ones, sound amazing. Um, yeah, very very cool. Pretty much like a hallmark of jazz fusion. Obviously, a pretty well known album now. As you can see, it's in this bright orange. But sounds amazing. Obviously you can't go wrong with Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia. I'm not too sure how to say it. Otherwise, a beautiful, beautiful record. I highly recommend this for anyone who wants to get into jazz fusion. So yeah, very very cool to have. Next up is another other interesting one. This is Mr. Bungle's California. So Mr. Bungle, if anyone obviously knows me personally, knows I'm a massive Mr. Bungle fan. This is my favorite of their albums. But unfortunately, this is a plain recordings pressing. So if anyone knows about plain recordings, it's very hit or miss. This one in particular, bit of a miss. Doesn't sound great. Quite crackly. The vinyl itself, or the record itself, the material it's made out of isn't the greatest. I think this is 2011 they pressed this, but I've got other Mr. Bungle ones that sound a lot better than this. One day I will probably get this just in a better pressing because it doesn't sound great. But inside, nothing really special. It's just mainly just a yeah, paper sleeve and that vinyl itself, obviously. But it's quite thick vinyl. And yeah, same pressing. It's just I'm never going near plain recordings again. Yeah, at the time I got this, I didn't know about sort of the reputation plain recordings had, so definitely not going near them again. Which sucks because they print stuff like they print stuff like Ween and stuff that isn't readily like available printed anymore. I still, even though it's Ween, I still want to go near it. Yeah, I'm a struggle to get some of these back into their sleeves because I pack everything in about 4 layers of plastic. So yeah, Mr. Bungle. We go from Mr. Bungle to Mr. Bungle. This is Mr. Bungle's self-titled Mr. Bungle. This one is a music on vinyl pressing, so this one sounds a lot better. One of the better sounding vinyls I actually have in my collection. But yeah, sounds amazing. This is just on basic black. There's the back as well with obviously all the artwork. One of the strangest, still to this day, one of the strangest artworks. I would love to know who this artwork is by. I'm sure it's probably somewhere. Not sure. Also produced by John Zorn, who, if you don't know, is a bit of a madman. But just on regular black vinyl. Yeah, no, this one, compared to my California one, this one sounds amazing. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with music on vinyl or Warner Bros. Pressing. They press really good. I've never had a problem with any of their stuff. So, Mr. Bungle. And this won't be the last of Mr. Bungle either. Next up, we have Cameron Winter's Heavy Metal. Obviously released last year. One of my favorite albums of last year. Big fan of him, and also Geese, who are, as of speaking, have released an album literally today. So still have to listen to that. Yeah. So when I got this was in pretty limited press actually. There was a high demand for this when the vinyl released for this, and I was lucky to get my hands on one pretty early. And then after they saw like that the demand for it was just insane, they printed like thousands of these, so now they're just everywhere. Yeah, it's in a cool color as well. It's in. I'll show you the back as well. This is also the heavy metal, but printed in this really cool. I'm pretty sure the color is literally called heavy metal. So printed in this really cool gray sort of splatter vinyl with his face on the middle. But yeah, sounds amazing. This one, they did a really good job with this pressing. If you haven't listened to this album yet, go listen to it. Next up, we have another one of my records that I reckon sounds amazing, and that's Death Dynamic Shroud's Dark Life. This one here is actually pretty limited. They came in a few different versions or colors, depending on the repress. Mine one here is green, and one's green and one's clear. I was at a record store, and um, I was just thinking to myself, because Death Dynamic Shroud vinyl are pretty not printed a lot. So, and I thought to myself, I want something that's Death Dynamic Shroud, and I'd never listened to this album, but I was like, this seems promising. I'm gonna go home and listen to it, and sure enough, sounds amazing, and became one of my favorite electronic out. Well, it's a big mix of stuff, but I'll probably call it like weird blend of electronic and a bunch of stuff. I guess hyperpop as well, you could call it. Sounds amazing. That's the back. Included, it's a gatefold as well, so it has a bunch of cool art. It comes with an art booklet as well, I believe. Yeah, it comes with this really neat art booklet as well. Comes with a bunch of different sort of art done by Keith Rankin, who's one of the group members, who's also a digital artist. So really cool. I've got a whole another video on a Death Dynamic Shroud album, obviously on my YouTube channel. So I am a big fan. This is the green. This is the green variant, which I reckon looks pretty cool. You can see my PC in the reflection. I think most of my time is just going to be spending taking vinyl in and out their covers, in and out their sleeves. This is the clear version. This one's in a paper sleeve because I haven't gone around to putting it in a plastic sleeve, but yeah, just a plain clear version as well, which is on the second disc. Yeah, really cool. Sounds amazing. I'll probably blabbered on about this one a bit too much. Next up, we have Swans is White Light from the Mouth of Infinity. I stumbled there, but not my favorite Swans record, but definitely one of their more accessible, easy to listen to ones. I would say it's definitely up there, but yeah, really cool record. This one, it's an amazing reissue. Came with a poster which you can see the bottom of up there that I've got hanging up on my wall. Yeah, it sounds amazing. This pressing, obviously a gatefold, and comes with the big all the artwork inside as well. I'll show you the back as well because it is a really cool artwork. Again, I don't know who did this artwork. I'm sure I could find it after the fact. Comes obviously just in a black vinyl. I don't think Swans have actually ever printed on color, which is interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've ever printed colored vinyl, which I kind of respect. Very cool, like amazing sounding record. Next up, we have another one of my favorite bands, which is the Melvins with their album Houdini. This was a first of all, I'll say must listen to anyone who likes like garage punk, garage rock, post punk, post rock. Amazing album. Not my favorite Melvins album, but definitely up there. Definitely their most known album because it was obviously the one Kurt Cobain produced. But this one's a music on vinyl pressing, so you know that it sounds great. This one is a limited pressing of 2,500. But even though it's limited pressing, I see these everywhere. Like I still see these. This has been out for a year or so, and I still see it everywhere. Comes in this sort of like nice scratchy cover as well. And along with the limited pressing, it comes in this really cool purple color. It's meant to be like a marbled purple, but most of them just kind of turned out just being full purple. There is a slight marbling effect, but I don't even know if you can see it on the camera. You can just see my piece here again, but You might be able to see it on the camera. I'll look at it after. Yeah, meant to be purpled marbled. I would say I wouldn't call it purple marbled, but that seems to be a recurring thing with these pressings. Yeah, also not the last Melvin's album to come. Next up, we have another Japanese pressing. This one being Masayoshi Takanaka's Seychelles. Probably if not the best, one of the best jazz fusion albums there are. This is the 2024 repressing, so it comes in that really cool blue. Obviously printed by Kitty Records, who always do an amazing job with their pressings. They obviously have the little spinning cat in the middle, which you can watch it spin around as the record spins just for days and days and days. This one was actually got from Japan by my partner. She had to get it from over from Japan. Really cool pressing. Sounds bloody brilliant as they usually do. Quite a bit of glare, so I'll take it out of its cover and give you a better look. And obviously comes with this little sleeve thing as well. And then this is the blue vinyl. There's any of these like clear blue vinyls, I love to just call meth vinyls because they look like the meth from Breaking Bad. It looks like you could put a hammer on it and smoke it. Yeah, and obviously it has the kitty as they all do. Anything printed by Kitty Records has that kitty on it. Whoops, I accidentally ripped a bit of the plastic sleeve there. I'm getting all the interesting ones out the way first, which I feel like is probably good for video retention. This one here is the Dreamcast collection it was printed by Sega. So this one has a bit of an interesting backstory. This one is if you pre-ordered the Dreamcast collection for the Xbox 360 back in 2011. So this is numbered. Mine is number, if you can see it focuses, 736 out of I don't know how many focus. I don't know how many they pressed. I guess however many people pre-ordered it, but I never saw these until I was in a record shop and I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna snap this up because it seems interesting. They never released, but it has just a bunch of songs from like popular Dreamcast game. So it has like the one song from I think Sonic Adventures. I don't know kind of what the middle one is, and then obviously Crazy Taxi, which was listening to this first time was a bit of a blast in the past, going back to because I've not heard a song from Crazy Taxi in years. So and it also comes in this cool grey vinyl, which is obviously the color of the Dreamcast, but yeah, one of the cooler ones I have, and one of the more obscure ones. Yeah, a bit more of a collector's piece than an actual, I guess, good sounding vinyl. It's a bit warped and a bit crackly, probably because it's quite old, and secondhand. So, but still, a really cool, just sort of collector's piece to have. Next up, we have Attempted Martyr by Prostitute. I'll get this out of sleep because this glare is killing me. Yeah, Attempted Martyr by Prostitute, which was another one of my favorite albums that came out last year. One of the most hard-hitting albums I've heard in a while, especially the opening song, All Hail. Obviously a bit of a political piece, of an album, but a bit of an interesting backstory about this one. So this one was meant to be pressed. When I bought it, there's two variants of these. There's forest green and then there's green splatter. Um, I was meant to get the green splatter because that's what it was advertised as, but when I bought it, I found out it was the forest green one. Um, and I didn't. I'm not sure if that's an issue on the label's part or the seller I got it from. Most likely the seller. They just advertised the wrong like picture. But also it was meant to come with a like a booklet, but I think there was a mutual agreement at the last second between the band and the label not to put the booklet in. So mine doesn't come with a booklet. I think some were pressed with a booklet. I could be wrong on that, but still the forest green version is fine. I'm more in it for the actual sound of it than the cool colors. Although I do like the cool colors, I can't lie. Yeah, forest green, and then it obviously has. I could be wrong on this pine tree. It's on the Lebanese flag. I know that for sure. But yeah, it comes in this cool forest green color. One of my favorite looking vinyls. Yeah, yeah, super cool. There's not many of these around. I don't see many people having these. So a really cool vinyl to have. We are going Japanese pressing after Japanese pressing this video. But the next one is the Fishman's Kuchu, or the Best of Fishman's, which is a compilation of there's two of these. There's a blue one and there's an orange one. I have the blue one, which is the compilation of I guess the best of Fishman's, which has some of the good famous songs like Go Around This World and Baby Blue and stuff in it, which is why I got this one. I prefer the track list on this one to the other one. Yeah, anyone knows the Fishmans know that. Oh, you might just randomly see my light go in and out. It does that. I don't know why. This is a really cool pressing. Sounds amazing. It's on. I'll show you in a second, but it's on this also really cool meth blue color, as I like to call it. Yeah. But this is the color of the vinyl. Obviously, meth blue, as I like to call it. With got his name. Shinji something, the lead singer of Fishman's. But I'll say this, whoever owns the right to the Fishman's live album, the 1998 one, press it on vinyl, please. There's such a demand for it. One of, if not the best, live performances in mankind's history. Whoever owns the rights to it, please press it again. The last time it was pressed was in a bundle that cost like $1,000. So that's my final piece for this one. Is whoever owns the rights to the Fishman's discography, print the live album on vinyl again, please. I beg you. So next up, we have another interesting one. This is Chocolate and Cheese by Ween. Anyone who knows me knows I am a massive Ween fan. It's almost impossible to get Ween vinyl, especially the more popular albums, just because they print them so. They barely print them, and there's so much demand for them. This one is the 2024 repress, the 30th anniversary, I think it was, edition. So yeah, super cool to have. It's obviously a big booklet. I bought this last year, but it's already selling for like an insane price. It obviously comes in this really cool gatefold with a bunch of images of Dina and Gino in a boat and under a waterfall and all that shebang. There's another photo Dina and Gina in a boat. This unfortunately is not the coloured one, the limited edition coloured one. They were pretty much impossible to get in Australia. So if anyone's got one in Australia, good on you. But I just got the plain black one. And then obviously it comes with the big fucking middle finger in the middle. Yeah, this one sounds amazing. It's an amazing repress. The only thing I don't like is this like inner folder feels like it's about to fucking fall apart any minute just because of the weight of how many records are in this thing. This comes with like a whole bunch of bonus tracks. So just the weight of it feels like this outer sleeve is gonna like break apart at any minute. Whoever owns I think it's Shocker Dog that owns the right to Quebec. The label that owns the rights to Quebec, please reprint Quebec. I will pay an exorbitant amount of money for it. Next up, we have Boris with Merzbow's, I need to read this off the cover, 0492001, which is a collaborative album between Boris and Merzbow. Merzbow obviously being the big screamy noise wall guy, and then Boris being the cool grunge band. This is basically Boris's album Heavy Rocks with Merzbow playing it live and then putting a bunch of his electronic mumbo jumbo over the top of it. I got this because it was super cheap at a record store and I like both. I'm not a big fan of Merzbow, but I do like Boris. This is also a really cool pressing. This is also a pressing I just sort of can't really find anywhere else. There's not many other people that I know have this. This one here comes in this really cool like metallic sort of color, and then obviously Boris on all their records have this really cool artwork on their inner sleeve of the two women. But yeah, a really cool looking record, and also sounds really good. I probably would have preferred this album without Merzbow's big screaming electronic noises over the top. It's not too distracting, and it does kind of work sometimes. So I'll give props to Merzbow on this one. Yeah, I was super cool to have. I really like this one. Obviously, I don't play it much because it is super brash, but sort of a cool collector's piece. I put it on time to time. Next up, we have Geese's 3D Country. Like with Cameron Winter, I think I've said before, I love Geese. This is an amazing album. The thing's slipping out. Yeah, if you like alt country, all that sort of stuff, you'll love this. This one is just one of the newer pressings. I don't think they've done a repress of this yet because it is that new. Obviously, Geese, I said, releasing an album today, which I will listen to. But otherwise, there's not too much to this one, just a single sleeve. Cool in a cover, in a sleeve. And then just printed on a black vinyl. But it has some cool eyes on it that stare at you when you pull the cover out. You can just see them peeking over the top. of the cover when you pull it out every time you do. Amazing sounding pressing as well. I forgot who pressed this, but I've heard of them before and they always do a good job, so no complaints. Next up, we probably have the most expensive record in my collection, and that is Death's Dynamic Shroud's Regret It When You Were Lost. Now, this one was printed beginning of this year, and it was limited to 100 copies. I'm sort of mixed on that, on both the fact that it was printed on 100 and they said it was printed to 100, because it seems like people on discogs it's saying that there's way more than 100 people have this, which could either be because they either just printed more for money, or a bunch of these got damaged in shipping when they first sent over, so they could have just sent people a bunch of like secondary ones, so people just kind of have one sort of broken one, or one has fucked up cover and then just another clean one, which is kind of the story of this. So I got this secondhand from somebody, and they got sent original one, which the front cover was beat up, and then they got sent a replacement second cover. So I've actually got two covers. I've got the beaten up one as well, which I can sort of use as a bit of a poster. But yeah, it's a super cool collector's piece. It doesn't sound the greatest. The print on this isn't greatest. It's pretty crackly. Sort of sounds basically the exact same as the digital one. I was hoping that they would have got the master copies and were able to make it feel a bit more like vibrant, but it's basically just digital copied and pasted on a vinyl. And I'll show you the back as well. But still super cool. Like I said, I'm not sure if it isn't numbered, so I'm not sure if this truly was printed to 100 copies. But it comes in this cool baby blue color as well, which is cool. It's a cool thing to have. I paid quite a lot for it. It's definitely the most I've ever paid for a record. I don't see them ever pressing this again, and I don't know, because they've never once thought of pressing it before. I can't put this back in the sleeve. I'm sorry. Yeah, for such an influential album, I would kind of hope, such an influential vaporwave album, I would kind of hope they would print more of these, just because the demand for this on vinyl is insane. So a lot of people are very obviously upset that they only released 100 of these. Um, Obviously in the 100% club of, I think it's 100% Electronica, which printed this. Which my other Death Dynamic vinyl sounds great. It's just this one just kind of sounds like the digital copy. Anyway, it's a cool collector's item. Even though this front cover is replaced, it's still a bit better, a bit beat up at the top and sides and stuff. Probably because it was shipped to me. It's been shipped from France and then to America, and then from America to Australia, and then to Australia across Australia again. So it's been through a lot of miles, which may also be why it sounds a bit crackly. That's the word, but still super cool collector's piece to have. We are just storming through these Japanese pressings. This one is Masayoshi Takanaka's an Insatiable High. Again printed by Kitty Records. So you know it sounds great. This is one of two albums I have printed by Kitty Records, but yeah, obviously sounds great. Comes in this. I like to think it's piss yellow. I don't know what it's officially as. Yeah, cool yellow. I didn't have to get this one from Japan, so that's good. But yeah, super good quality. Sounds amazing. I cannot complain. I love these pressings. They're reissue pressings. They're amazing. I know they printed other ones. They printed like Brazilian Skies and stuff as reissue. So I'm also tempted to get something like that as well. Get the big major free Masayoshi albums. Yeah, but super cool. We're just getting through all the interesting ones apparently, because next up we have De La Soul's Clear Lake Auditorium, which the first thing you probably notice is it comes with gel in the front cover. Yeah, whoever decided to put gel in the front cover at Chrysalis Records, they deserve a promotion, because this is great. This is great sensory. I'm not going to take this one out of the cover because this like sticky plastic makes it almost impossible. Like seriously, it would take me about 20 minutes to get this in and out. It's insane. I don't know. Whoever designed the gel, good on you. Whoever designed the actual sleeve, maybe rethink your design is the politest way to put it. Yeah, it is this really cool like aqua color. Like I said, I'm not gonna get out. It takes fucking forever. But yeah, another really cool, just obscure one. I thought this is not rare at all. Like they printed thousands of these, but it was for Record Store Day, and it's a really cool pressing. Next up, we have the newest one in my collection, which is Regurgitator's Unit. Obviously, a bit of a Australian underground legend being Regurgitator. This is obviously their most popular album, but this is a 2024 pressing of it, done by Valve Records. This is the back as well. This one also kind of stumps me because most of the pressings you find of this are just the normal colored ones, but this one is colored this really cool, I think it's defined as emerald green, but it's really cool green color. Which is I reckon a super cool disc. I can't find like much about this pressing. From what I see on Discogs, only about like 15 people own this. I don't know how many of these were made. It's a bit of a really obscure pressing. They made this in brown as well in 2024. It seems like they didn't press many of them because I could only find this for sale at one place. I can't get this back in the cover, man. You know what? Right here, right now, I'm putting this in a new plastic sleeve because I'm not messing with that paper, god awful paper sleeve. But yeah, really cool. Like I said, really obscure pressing. And like I said, this is the only one I could find on sale, at least on Discogs. I didn't really look anywhere else. Otherwise, really cool. Sounds amazing. This pressing. Got some Australian classic bangers on it. Yeah, super cool. Next up, we have another cool pressing. This is Scraping Fetus Off the Wheels Nail, or just plainly Fetus, as I think he goes by now. This is the original Japanese pressing from 1985. Yeah, I got this secondhand at a store here. I saw it and I was like, that's pretty sick, because I've never seen one of these in where I live, especially not the original pressing. Otherwise, for its age, it sounds pretty good. You would expect a little bit of crackling, but otherwise sounds, like I said, sounds good for its age. It comes with this, yeah, obviously with it being 40 years old, the vinyl itself is pretty lightweight vinyl, but it just comes in this black. Also comes with this booklet, which is yellowed a bit and is kind of falling apart a little bit because it's 40-year-old paper. It's a super cool little booklet as well. It's pretty neat to have this in an original Japanese pressing. So yeah, cool thing to have. Next up, we have another Ween pressing. This is the Pod, which was I think 2023 pressing. Again, another one that doesn't get pressed a whole lot, but these are pretty readily available. You can kind of still find these everywhere. One of my favorite vinyl I have. Not only because it sounds great, but it also looks really cool. I forgot the name that they call the color of the vinyl. Obviously it comes in a gatefold with this, if I can get it the right way. Ween. But the actual vinyl itself comes in this. I forgot what they call it. It's like brown cream, but I call it bird shit because it literally just looks like bird shit, and it's different on every vinyl. Looks like bird shit. Obviously has the photo of Mean Ween in the middle with his jammy pack on, which is a bit of Ween lore. If you don't know what a jammy pack is, it's a Scotch Guard powered bong. So if you don't know, now you know. Not sure if you wanted to know that, but here we are. It says on the back sort of how this album was made, and it does say they were all high on Scotch Guard at the time, which you can kind of hear in the sound of it. It's a very brash and interesting sounding record. Obviously done on a tape recorder back in the day, so it sounds creakly and old. The Pod, my favorite old Ween album, probably my third favorite Ween album total. Great to have it on vinyl. Sounds amazing on this pressing. I cannot complain. Next up, we have Phantom Masses Suspended Animation with the illustrations all by Yoshimoto Nara, which is one of my favorite artists. This album sounds pretty insane. It's all over the place. This was a 2023 or 4. I can't remember if it's 2023, 24 repress of just, I think it was the first press of this album, technically, because I didn't press it back in like 2005, whenever this came out originally. It's this really cool concept album. So it's a really cool concept album that sort of goes over like all the weird holidays that they have across the world, and each song on the album sort of correlates to every weird holiday, and then also correlating to the songs is correlating to each song is a illustration done by the legendary Yoshimoto Nara of little like each holiday. So You can see here, this is the Mother and Beauty Day in Armenia, and also the No Housework Day in the USA, and that's the illustration that's done for it. Then obviously there's a song for it as well on the actual album. Not only that, but it also comes in this really cool, like marbled grey color. I have a lot of grey vinyl. I don't know why, but super cool. Has this cool kitty on the front. One of the coolest. Just overall sounds amazing as well, I should say. But one of the overall just coolest vinyl I have. Still, even though that you see these everywhere, I still see these everywhere. Nobody's bought these, which is a shame because I think it's a really cool, not only collector's piece, but a really good album. So, if you see it in your local record store, can consider picking it up. It's cool. Next up, we have another Japanese pressing. If you can't already tell, I like my Japanese pressings. This is Susumu Yokata's 1998, which I reckon has one of the most bizarre front album covers. But I'm a big fan of Susumu Yokata. His vinyls aren't easy to get. And a lot of them have only ever been pressed once. Has a spoon on the back as well, if you needed to know. Yeah, big fan of Susumu Yokata. This is probably isn't his best album, but it's sort of I just this one just appeals to me. It's just a funky looking sounding album. Obviously, it's sort of like house techno music, deep house, deep techno sort of thing. But really cool record. Sounds amazing. This was printed in 1998. It was I got it secondhand, but it was unopened. For its age, sounds incredible. No crackling, no anything. That just proves to you how ahead of the game, I guess, the Japanese were at pressing vinyl. The actual vinyl itself is a pretty simple. It's black. It has his signature on it, and then yeah, but sounds amazing, super cool. If you want something chill to listen to, any of the Susumu Yokata stuff I highly recommend. Yeah, really, really cool pressing. Again, one you don't see that often either. I also had to get this from Japan, shipped over from Japan. You can't really get it anywhere else, but yeah, super cool. Hitting you next with the God's Spirit Crusher. This is one when I got it, I'd never heard of this, but I kind of had this weird obsession with obscure black metal. So I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. And it's a good album. I like it a lot. It's not as heavy as I expected, to be fair. It's a German band. This was pressed like a year or so ago in Germany. Yeah, cool cover artwork. But sounds amazing. It's really good pressing. So, I can't complain. Also comes in the color. I think they called it like translucent fog or something. But it is this really cool white foggy vinyl. Again, kind of grey. I don't know why I have so many grey vinyl. If you like your black metal, I suggest checking them out. Next up, we have Aphex Twins Selected Ambient Works Volume 2. Now, this is a big chunky one, big chunky vinyl. You've probably seen this quite a lot. How could you not have this? Such an incredible record, such a genre-defining record as well. This is obviously the 2024, I think it was 24 they did this 2024 repress, the big bundle box. Not only that, it's the only record I've ever damaged myself. I accidentally dropped one of the things and it scratched. I reckon that's a pretty good track record. I reckon everyone damages some part of a record at some point in their life. It took me 2 years to do it, so I'm pretty proud of that. Pure black vinyl. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but it's on the actual vinyl there. Maybe you might be able to get a glimpse of it. Yeah, I dropped it and it hit the side of my record player and scratched. It still sounds alright though. You can obviously hear the scratch when it goes past, but still surprisingly sounds fine. Also pressed on biovinyl. Whatever that means. I actually don't know. Yeah, obviously sounds amazing. It's a really cool press. Also comes with stickers and a poster, which I don't have up. I still have it in here. I've obviously used the stickers because who doesn't not use Aphex Twin stickers? Super cool. Next up, we have another Melvins album. We have A Senile Animal, which is probably my favorite of the Melvins album. Yeah, this is I think 2018 repress. It's in like a sky blue color, another meth vinyl. This one here, one of the discs is a little bit warped. It's a 73 RPM record, so you spin it a bit faster, which maybe the original was. I'm not sure why they chose that. It sounds, even though it's a bit warped, this one sounds. People have had their issues with this pressing. I think when it came out, it didn't. I think we had one of the tracks missing. My one here sounds amazing. I can't complain. Apart from the bit of warping, which may be how they put it in the thing, but obviously has the inside sleeve. I think it has another sleeve. It has another sort of booklet explaining how the album was made as well. And yeah, obviously, this one's less of a matte vinyl. It's more like a aquamarine, darker blue. Sounds amazing. Really cool pressing. Really cool to have my favorite Melvin's album on vinyl. Next up, we have a big boy. This is Shellax's, but this is Shellax's. This is Shellac with 1000 Hertz. Probably my favorite Shellac record, obviously with the incredible Steve Albini, rest in peace, and Bob Weston, and I forgot the drummer's name. This is like a box set, so it has obviously the box, and then it's a fold out. I don't want to lose anything here, but it's a fold out. Comes with this CD. I bought it secondhand, so this CD is scratched to hell. Not only that, comes with this single sheet or track sheet, I think you would call it. If it probably doesn't want to focus, right? Vinyl itself is in this cool cover. It comes with the actual just black vinyl, just a singular one. But another just kind of cool little piece to have. Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones. This one's when they press this, it sounds amazing. These are impossible. They pressed these a couple times in the 2000s. Obviously, the original, I think they repressed it again a couple years later, and then one in like 2017. It's impossible to make out which like one they printed. Like impossible. Even I don't know. I don't know if this is 2005, 2008, 2017, which is a common theme with these shellac records, is that they're impossible to date because they all look the same, but still a super cool box set to have. Also another one that, because of its size, is so bloody hard to get back into a sleeve. Next up, we have also a new pressing, Quadeca with Vanisher Horizonscaper. A really good pressing of this. Sounds amazing. They made a few colors of this. My one's in white, which I think is just sort of the standard one. Yeah, also the new Quadeca record. Sounds amazing. One of my favorite records this year as well. Yeah, he did a really, like all Quadeca stuff produced, sounds amazing, especially on vinyl. I suggest if you want something that just sounds great, sounds amazing, anything Quadeca printed on vinyl just sounds amazing. Comes in a gatefold with some of the more artwork and all that jazz. Also does come with a poster that I haven't put up. Yeah, just pure white. I spin this regularly, sounds amazing. Amazing, amazing. Next up, another one of my cooler pressings, Danny Brown's Triple X, which is quite surprisingly rare to find in Australia. I found this at a secondhand shop. This is the original 2011 pressing, or 2012. I can't remember when they did it. One with the big red gatefold, and it has the lyric sheet just kind of in there. Yeah, no, this one, great pressing, sounds amazing. I can't complain. Nothing beats. Not my only Danny Brown record, which is later coming up, but yeah, printed really well, really solid. The vinyl itself is really solid as well. The Zan on the other side, hell yeah. Yeah, again, like I said, rare to find these in Oz, because I think most of Danny Brown's fan base is pretty solidly stuck to America. But otherwise, cool pressing. Cool to have. Sounds amazing. Hitting you again with another shellac record. This one being this time at Action Park. If you can't tell already, I'm a big shellac fan. This one sounds amazing, I'll say first. One of their better sounding records. They all sound great, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I didn't even know they repressed these until recently, until I went to my local store and saw that they had repressed these. Yeah, printed on the cover of cardboard. There were actually a few misprints of these. Like with the 1000 Hertz one, impossible, there's I think about 3 reprints. Impossible to know which one it is. I'm just guessing off the fact that it was in like original packaging at a new like a record store that sells mostly brand new stuff, that this is new, or like a 2017 pressing. Not only that, it folds out this way to reveal like a bunch of microphones and stuff. Not only that, but the actual inner sleeve is also cardboard with some cool artwork on it. The vinyl itself, which is it's a hefty, quite thick vinyl, as you probably can't see, but yeah, sounds amazing. It has like it's hand etched as well. Where is a which is a shame, because I could have invented it. Todd Stanford, Trainer 1994. I'm guessing that's hand etched. It looks hand etched. I could be wrong. Really cool outer sleeve as well. I'll say that. Fortunately, because it is it's the back of. Unfortunately, because it is literally cardboard. It can tend to just fall apart, these cardboard ones, a little bit, unfortunately. But I try to keep it stored as best as I can. Now we are sort of moving on to a bunch of, I guess, records I bought more when I first started. First one being Refused the Shape of Punk to Come, which is my favorite punk record or post-punk record. The mastering and the production on this is fucking incredible. Sounds amazing on vinyl. They made a few of these in a colored variant. Mine's just black. Yeah, has some cool artwork on it. Again, if you like your punk and your post-punk, it's an essential one. Comes in straight, comes in just like a standard black. Is a gatefold as well. I should probably mention. Nice gatefold with a couple illustrations of, looks like astronaut technology, rover technology, I should say. I have a habit of buying records that are just annoying to put back in the sleeve. Next up, I don't think I have to explain this one. I feel like this was literally the first record I got in junction with In the Airplane Over the Sea, which I know is fucking cringe. I shouldn't say that. They're both obviously incredible albums. It's just a bit of a MU nerd couple albums. Yeah, this is the Death Grips print everyone has, the 2018 repress, and then obviously the vinyl itself. Sounds amazing. I don't have to touch on this that one that much. Cool pressing. Also in here we have another one that I feel like everyone has at least one in their collection of, and that's Yes's Close to the Edge. I think this is an original pressing. This is a US one because says where it was printed in 18th Broadway, New York, New York, which I'm pretty sure there's only one pressing that actually has this, and it's a original US pressing. Yeah, I feel like everyone has this in their collection. Has the cool gatefold, just a plain black with the obviously the Atlantic sticker that everyone knows and loves. A must have in anyone's collection, at least one. Yes. Next up, another one that everyone should probably have. Talking Heads is Remain in Light. Again, this is the pressing that literally everyone and their mum and dog has. Still, I spin this one often because I just love the shit out of this record. Obviously, it's a very well known one. Mine's just in the usual black with the Sire, the well known Sire logo on it. One that I don't need to explain too much because if you haven't listened to Talking Heads, you are living under a rock. Next up, we have Static X's the Wisconsin Death Trip. This is the cooler one, obviously printed by Music on Vinyl, which is again great printing company. I believe they did make these in a couple colored variants. Probably my favorite new metal album of all time. This one's obviously Music on Vinyl sounds super great. That's the back with Mr. Wayne Static, who's one of my favorite musicians of all time. We love Mr. Wayne Static. It does come in a gatefold, by the way, if you want to see them all in chairs. All just sitting down, having a little chat. There's also an inner sleeve that also has another photo of Wayne. A lot of photos of just Wayne Static looking insane in this one, but got sidetracked about 3 times in what I was saying. But they did come in colored vinyl, these ones. I've just got mine in black, which I have no problem with. Sounds amazing. Yeah, not much to say about this one, but if you like new metal and you haven't listened to this album, what are you doing? Please go listen to Static X. Pretty please. Next up is Squid's Oh Monolith, which I got shortly after it came out, when pressings got sent over to Oz. Sounds super good on vinyl. This one is another one you just kind of see going for like fuck all everywhere. This is the blue one. I think I did print this on black. This one's on blue. It's fucking warped to shit, which is just how I got it. Yeah, this one was a present. Came as a gatefold. The first vinyl that I originally coined my term of meth vinyl because it looks like meth. But there's some of these that I do want to hang up on my back wall, and this is one of them because I reckon it looks pretty cool. Yeah, they came out with an album. I think they came out with an album this year. Unfortunately, didn't really live up to the hypes of O Monolith and their first one. I forgot the name of their first album, but this something has some funky guitar riffs on it. Also, by funky, I don't mean in normal funky. I mean like off, but cool, but off in a cool way. This is another one that I'm a bit disappointed with, and that's Edgar Froese's Epsilon in a Malaysian Pale. But this is a record store day one. I got this second hand. And as you can see, the vinyl on the front, you see, looks nice and deep, really cool, deep green, right? It looks like fucking Bath. I was not happy when I got this. It's also warped to shit, and it just doesn't sound good. Not a good pressing at all. Get the original one. I'm moving on from this very quickly. Now, next we have Lovage by Nathaniel Merriweather, also with our good friend Mike Patton and also Jennifer Charles. Of course, Mike Patton from Mr. Bungle and Faith No More fame. This is another one that you can just kind of find from shop to shop. These are pretty common now, but this is the repress. Has this cool artwork on the inner sleeve, and it's just a plain black. I believe they did make these in colored versions. Other than that, this is a pretty cruisy record. It's a good record just to have on in the background. Yeah, otherwise that sounds good. No warping or anything. I can't complain with it too much. Next up, we have another one of my favorite albums ever, which is XTC's Skylarking. Now this is the, I think, 2022 or something repress. So this is the gatefold. I would love to have the original pressing of this, but obviously that's very rare to find. Actually, I don't think it's as rare as I think it is, but it obviously has the three members in the middle. I forgot their name. That's right, Dave Gregory, Andy Partridge, and Colin Moulding. Look at those mullets. Again, this is just printed on a standard black. This record here is probably, apart from the Death Dynamic Shroud one, is probably the best sounding one I have. This one is remastered beautifully. Sounds angelic. But yeah, just printed on plain black. Very cool. Very sick. Next up, we have another bit of a mishmash album, and that is Nerds in Search of, which is obviously their debut record. My favorite of the, I think, 3-4 albums Nerd have out. I'm always a big fan of Pharrell's production, obviously. One of the best to ever do it. Again, this one's pretty hard to actually determine what date it was repressed in. I'll show you the back as well, because the back's also pretty cool. But this one is the version that came in white. And this is also one that sounds, obviously with Pharrell's production, sounds amazing. This is obviously a remaster, but I don't know if it was remastered by Pharrell or what, but yeah, amazing sounding record. Yeah, but I definitely need I haven't played this one enough. You can also see the sort of, there's like a holographic effect with like some stars. Yeah, you can see that on camera, which is also pretty cool. Well made, sounds amazing. Yeah, I cannot complain with this one either. You know, if you have an Aphex Twin one, you always have to have the other side. You have to have an Autre one, or Autre, I think this is how you say it. This is LP5, so this is just the one with the blank cardboard cover. There is another one I do want. I forgot the name of it, Altabiz or something. But this one I just found at a record store, and I said it'd be cool. It's nice to have some ambient music from time to time. And this is one of the best ambient albums you can get. It has this really weird sleeve where it's like this, which is the first time I've ever seen. Obviously not the sleeve shape, but first time I've ever seen that as a thing, little like holdy thing. And then it's just a plain black record, obviously. I think Autre is another one that have just never printed on color. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, very obviously the production on these sound amazing. Very happy with this. Another one that's pretty cool to have now that they are off Spotify, I believe they just left, is Shushu. I'm holding it the wrong way. Shushu with that album, Forget. This is one of my favorite Shushu albums, if not my favorite Shushu album. Love the heck out of this thing. Just all the distortion and the, I guess, like pop element. It's one of Shushu's more poppier, is that a word? Poppier albums. Obviously still with the signature like shoo distortion and noise. I just love this color this cover, not color. I just love this cover as well, for some reason. But almost like the Death Dynamic Shroud one I have, it's pretty much the exact same color as that, like this light blue, which obviously suits with the album cover, which is super cool. Again, all Shushu pressings usually sound amazing, so there are other Shushu albums I would like to get, but this is probably my favorite out of all of them. Next up is an absolute bona fide classic, and that is Slint's Spiderland. If you haven't heard this album, you are living under a rock. especially if you're in the rock scene. Has the cool spider on the back, which is synonymous with the album. Also, the reissued version that they did, I forgot what year it is, but it comes with a bunch of really cool photos and jazz of the album being made, which is also very cool. I may be wrong on this one as well, but I don't think this was ever released on colored vinyl. But anyway, it is just the standard black. If it does come in colored, I don't think it does, but um, standard black sounds amazing. I think this remaster was done by, I believe, Bob Weston, who is one of the best there is, and obviously one of the band members in Shellac, as I mentioned previously. So some cool tie-ins there. Moving on, we have another Aphex Twin. This one time being Selected Ambient Works 85 to 92. This is another album that, like, if you haven't listened to this, you're living under a rock. But yeah, what can you really say about this album? It's a classic. I think everyone should have this in their record collection. Obviously, this is the 2014 reissue or whenever it was they reissued, maybe 2012, something like that. And again, I don't think they've ever released this on color, but yeah, standard black vinyl. But one of the vinyls that also sounds just amazing. Yeah, super vibrant. Amazing, amazing print. Moving back to Danny Brown with obviously the other very successful album, which is Atrocity Exhibition. 10 out of 10 album. Again, if you're into rap, you should really give this a listen. I don't know what else there is to really be said about this that hasn't already been said about a million times on various places. So very cool. I believe they did make this one in colored, but it was like a limited edition one. So it's not. I don't think it would have been available in Australia like a lot of limited editions that are printed in America and all that jazz. It's got some cool inner cover artwork as well, which is very epic. And obviously, here's the actual disc. It's disc. I said disc. Here's the actual record itself. Sounds amazing. A cool one to have. Again, it's a bit of an essential if you're into experimental rap music whatsoever. Next up, we have Flying Lotus's Cosmogramma, another one that if you're into trip hop or just like rap and hip hop at all, is a must have. This one is a gatefold, so it has all the bunch of cool artwork and stuff that comes along with it, which is really sick. Otherwise, again, I think they believe they made these in color. I only have the black one because they probably weren't sent to Australia. Being that there, really cool vinyl. If you haven't listened to this and if you haven't listened to this and you're into trip hop or anything, I very much suggest it. Next up, the final Mr. Bungle album I have is obviously Disco Volante, pressed on music on vinyl again, so you know it's gonna sound good. This is another one that I don't really play that much. I bought it. It's a bit the outer sleeve and stuff is a bit beat up because I got it at JB Hi-Fi, and that just kind of happens when you get stuff at JB Hi-Fi. Obviously, it has the cool Diver Man on the back. Obviously, the cool Viper Fish on the front as well. This is probably my least favorite out of the three classic Mr. Bungle albums. Doesn't mean I don't like it. I certainly still like it, and I certainly still wanted it. Especially to complete the trilogy. Still an amazing, amazing album. Very wacky and full of odd music choices. There seems to be a bit of a trend in my recent ones. But seems to be a bit of a trend, but I don't think they ever printed this on colored vinyl, so I have it on black. This and the self-titled both sound amazing. I can't complain. Again, this is one I probably shouldn't have to explain, but yeah, System of a Down self-titled. Obviously, amazing, amazing record. It's always a tie-up between people if they prefer this one or Toxicity. I always preferred the self-title, although Toxicity it's very close, but I always prefer the self-title, hence why I have the self-titled. Yeah, one of my favorite albums of all time. This pressing is it's obviously a repress. I can't remember what year it's repressed in, but obviously sounds amazing. Not too interesting, this one in terms of actual vinyl. Obviously just printed in black. Actually don't know if this was printed in color, but yeah, amazing sounding. Up next is the first vinyl I ever got, and that was In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Again, one I probably don't have to explain. This is one of a billion represses they've done of this, which are basically impossible to tell apart. There's like subtle differences, but all the represses are basically the exact same. This is obviously a gatefold, so it has all the really cool artwork in the middle, and it is a really good pressing. It's sounds absolutely amazing. Obviously, I don't think they ever reprinted this on color either, so it's just the plain black. But one of the best feeling records. It feels properly like good. It feels proper good quality. This also sounds amazing. One I haven't given a spin in a while. I should probably give this one a spin again. But obviously there's not really much you can say about Neutral Milk Hotel. Obviously, one of the best albums ever, and I don't think that's even you can even argue with that. So I guess some people do find this album unbearable and unlistenable, but amazing, amazing. And we are down to the final two. First one being De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising, one of just the pioneers of hip hop and rap. Absolutely immaculate vibes on this. Just listening to this brightens up your day immensely. If you can't tell by the album cover, again, one that I shouldn't really have to explain. I feel like most people have listened to this album by now, but if you haven't, go do it. This one is the 2022 or 2023 repress. These came in a few different colors. My one's in yellow. That's the back as well. Should also mention, because it is the limited version, comes with a comic. The sleeves on this ones are a bit battered and bruised because I've used this a lot, but yeah, in this nice bright yellow color, which obviously matches all the cover and everything. Obviously, both printed by Chrysalis Records, which both of them did amazing jobs. They both sound amazing. So yeah, very cool one to have. Obviously the anniversary edition. Yeah, neat. Next up, the final one, which is Hermitude's Hyper Paradise. Now, this is, if you don't know who this is an Australian, like Australian like musician and producer. This was a birthday present. So this I think was a 2022 or 2023 repress. I believe it's also 78 RPM, so it also does run a bit faster. So this includes the full album and also the remixes, including the quite famous Flume remix of Hyper Paradise, which is one of the best EDM songs of all time in my opinion. Yeah, this one's super cool. Also colored and also gatefold. So obviously the gatefold has a pretty bright artwork in the middle of it as well. And the actual disc itself, they are the different colored discs as well, I believe. The first one being this really cool, like another grey one. I don't know why I keep getting grey, mixed with a bunch of whole different other colors. So yeah, super cool colored. Unfortunately, these ones, because they were from JB Hi-Fi, they are decently warped, unfortunately. Obviously that wasn't my doing, they just came like that. The other one being this green color, which also is a really sick color. Obviously a bit different on the back. But no, a really cool pressing, sounds really good. They just this one here, I believe the green one is just quite warped. Especially when you play it at 78 RPM, you can just see it go ooh, over the tone arm. The tone arm is going up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah. So that's the end of my vinyl collection. I don't know how many I have in total. I'll go back through the footage and I'll count. But hope you like my collection. I feel like it's pretty varied and got some interesting ones in there. I might make a part two to this one day, maybe in another couple years, depending on what I'm doing, or if I'm even still collecting vinyl. I should be, but uh, very cool. I'm considering uploading again to this channel. So yeah, if you want that, let me know. Um, I should I should say I've only really posted like 4 videos, but I do want to post music content again. So yeah, thanks for watching.